2007 was arguably the best year for first-person shooters. You had huge blockbusters like Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, and Crysis, for the 7 people who could play it. But you also had tons of niche and lesser-known shooters like Metroid Prime 3, Stalker, and The Darkness. And who could forget Portal or Team Fortress 2? I could go on, but I think you get the idea. Also BioShock. Jesus, what a year. My point is, another game would release this same year, Medal of Honor. In fact, there were 3 Medal of Honors released in 2007. Vanguard for the PS2 and Wii, Roads to Victory for the PSP, and my favorite Medal of Honor ever, Airborne. It's a game that, like myself, stood no chance when it came out. The competition was unreal, but it deserves to be played because it still holds up today, and it's got a couple ideas that I've never seen any other shooter do. The most noticeable is the ability to fight anywhere on the level. That's because, like the name implies, you parachute in. This lets you land anywhere on the map. You play as Private Travers of the 82nd Airborne Division as you fight across the European theater during World War II.
Those sons of bitches.
The game's got 6 levels, with each one taking about 30 to 60 minutes to complete. So yeah, it's a really short game, but that just means you should pick it up for cheap and have a great afternoon with it. The first level also acted as a demo for the game, and it's clearly the most impressive. You can tell the devs put tons of time and effort into it. It still looks phenomenal, which is another thing. This game was Medal of Honor's first foray into a new generation, that being the 7th gen. So the 360 and PS3. What you're seeing now is the PC port, which ran just fine on my Windows 10 machine. I'm sure a lot of this lighting is pre-baked or pre-rendered, but there's also lots of real-time lighting, and it just looks great. The art design has a really specific character or look to it, and the entire game carries it. You notice it the most in this first level. A lot of the time, it looks more impressive than Battlefield 6, in my opinion. Obviously not as technically detailed, but that's easy to do. What really impresses me are games with a distinct vision for the art. A consistent style that's clearly a team's vision, rather than just a mishmash of the latest tech effects. There's very little, if any, depth of field, blurriness, or any other modern day bullshit you usually get with new games. This shaky cam, I admit, is a bit much. Am I in World War II or a Cloverfield movie? Thankfully, it really only happens when you're sprinting. There was a 6th gen version of the game planned, but development was cancelled once the team saw how difficult that'd be. The PS2, Xbox, and GameCube just didn't have the power to run the game they wanted to create. That is, without severely changing the game and making it unrecognizable, which, once you see what this game is and how it works, is pretty understandable. It's an interesting game because it's really starting to get into that transitional period between classic and modern shooters. Like I said, Call of Duty 4 released the same year, and that game, more than any, really cemented what popular FPS games would look like for the next... well, shit, even today. I think we're still kind of in that Call of Duty 4 era, but it's definitely fading as devs scramble for the next big hit. Maybe that's extraction shooters and battle royales. Regardless, Airborne tried taking things in a different direction. It started with an idea. What if you could begin the level anywhere?
When I first heard about making a game about Airborne, I honestly thought there's no way this is ever going to work. Starting anywhere in an FPS is something that has never been done before.
It's funny, battle royales do the same thing, with Fortnite's Battle Bus or PUBG's parachuting in. There's even a multiplayer PvP mode, where you're, of course, parachuting in. Oh my god, was Medal of Honor Airborne the first battle royale? I'm half joking, of course, but yeah, it is interesting. Every level begins with a short ride in what's probably a C-47 plane, before you jump out into the map. In a neat detail, if you wait too long, you'll be pushed out of the plane and do a little flip. I love how the jumps get progressively more unhinged, with the plane literally breaking apart in the final level. I get that it's supposed to add intensity to the game, but I just found it a little bit silly and over the top. It needed some randomness. One of my favorite things was just getting to the next level to see how the intro would one-up the level before it. As you parachute in, you can see the level rising up below you. You can steer your chute to choose where to land. Though the game's got some rough pop-in, but you get used to it. There are a few safe zones in every level, which are areas marked with green smoke. They just signal a place you can land where you won't get shot up while coming down, because the enemy can and will light your ass up while you're still in the air. This is really annoying in one of the later levels that's infested with snipers. There are also special airdrop locations called skill drops, marked by white parachutes. If you land on one, it's like a collectible, and each map has a few for you to find. They'll be in really narrow alleyways or on ledges. What's really cool about parachuting anywhere means you can tackle the objectives in any order you want. Think of it like a battlefield map with objectives spread around for you to complete. The objectives themselves are nothing to write home about. You blow up a ton of anti-AA guns, but they're not really the focus anyway. The levels give the impression of you being in the middle of a huge battle, but you're not really. The fighting only takes place around the player, but the illusion is so good you won't even notice. You'll almost always have 3 or so allies fighting alongside you. They'll make callouts, as will the enemy, which definitely gives the battles a more dynamic feel. It can get pretty chaotic. Unfortunately, your allies are almost worthless. They can and will kill the enemy, but it's pretty uncommon. Typically, they're there to give the illusion of allies, rather than being an actual fighting force. I think it's intentional, as the devs want you, the player, to feel like you're the star here. It doesn't feel that great when someone steals your kill, so I get it. And it works fine in game, I just kinda noticed it here and there. I wish you could do more with the allies, like give them some very basic orders, or maybe they could revive you if you went down or something, or add a co-op mode to the game. I just feel like it's a very bare-bones shooter in a lot of ways. I'm not saying I want a first-person Freedom Fighters, but you know, would that have been so bad? The levels are broken up into 2 stages that the game hides from you. The first is when you parachute down, do a few objectives, all good. Then once that's complete, you'll get a short cutscene with a character you don't know.
Care to join us? Fire in the hole! I guarantee you, it'll be a blast.
Do I know you? After this, you'll complete a specific objective or 2 in a more linear area. Before this part, if you die, you parachute down again. But after this cutscene triggers, and if you die, you'll respawn on the ground like in any other traditional game. So the game kinda has this best of both worlds approach to it, because you gotta remember, the ability to parachute down and choose your starting location is going to super change level design. You can't design a linear experience for the player because you don't know where they'll start or where they'll go. So what the devs did is make this open-ended style. At first, complete that portion, then the second half is more of a traditional game until the mission completes. I think it's a really smart way of doing things, and it works really well. Parachuting has a tiny bit of skill to it. You can land in 3 different ways. Greased, as it's called, is the best. You land and can immediately start fighting. You do this by keeping your head up and moving forward as you land. Flared has a delay to it, and you can do it by landing slowly. And then there's botched landing, which is when you flub it all up and land on your face. After I learned how to land the best way, it was easy to replicate every single time.
Who do the ladies love the most? Airborne! Who do the Nazis fear the most? Airborne! Yeah!
The system is a bit too simple if I did have a complaint. Even with just 6 levels, the landing gimmick got a little stale by the 5th or 6th level. You realize it's really not that big of a deal, which sounds harsh, so let me be clear. You absolutely should play this game and see for yourself, because it is a damn good time, even if it is short. That's helped in part because of the shooting. The most important part of an FPS game is the actual gameplay of shooting guys, and I'm very happy to report it's a goddamn blast. Headshots give a really satisfying ping when you shoot an enemy and the bullet goes through their helmet. The controls are also super snappy and feel great. And the ragdolls, my god, they're so friggin' good. The game's got this kind of aggressive ragdoll system. Sometimes they break, but that just makes it hilarious and entertaining rather than frustrating. The ragdolls can also interact with each other, so you'll shoot an enemy and his limp body will tumble over another dead body. I love it. But the game's got a huge problem that I don't know if I can get over, you guys. It's just, when you shoot the Garand and you run out of ammo with it and you gotta change the clip, when it shoots the empty clip out, it doesn't make the ping noise. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to recommend this game because it doesn't make the ping noise with the Garand. And like that's like the most basic thing your World War II game needs to do is do the ping noise. I'm half joking. The game's a lot of fun, and helping this are the weapons and the weapon upgrade system. The game's got 13 weapons, not including 3 types of grenades and the rocket launcher, all of which have 3 special upgrades for them. You upgrade a piece of equipment just by using it, though you'll get way more experience if you go for headshots. As you use it and get kills with it, a blue bar will fill up, bottom right. Once it fills, it'll pop a max pain like bullet time effect, and you'll level up with that equipment, which gains you a new perk for it. The perks vary for each piece of equipment too. They're almost all unique. For American grenades, the first level will be like a ability to carry more. For the Thompson SMG, the third and final upgrade is a drum magazine. For the German STG, you'll get a scope. I got super addicted to maxing all these out as soon as I could, and this system isn't just super rewarding for that sweet dopamine, it also incentivizes you to try everything in the game. I sniped a lot, I used the Garand a lot, I used grenades a lot. It was such a good motivator. The XP bar also carries over from level to level, so no worries if you didn't hit a new level by the time a level completes. You can only carry 2 weapons at a time, not counting your pistol, which of course you can because this is post-Halo, but it works well. You can choose your weapons before the mission begins. You can also pick up enemy weapons if you run out of ammo. Also worth mentioning, the weapons you choose can be enemy weapons as well, which is a little strange, but I like the variety. Spread around the levels are places to replenish your ammo and health, and it's balanced really well. I found myself running out of ammo if I got too careless. It made things tense, but never frustrating. If you get too close to an enemy, they'll charge to melee you, and that shit hurts. Enemies are also really good at taking cover. You'll rarely see them outside of it, and they'll constantly reposition to try and get the drop on you, which, coming off of the first Brothers in Arms game, I appreciate. As you progress through the levels, they'll of course get more difficult. The enemies start out as basic German recruits, but then you'll face veterans, officers, and finally stormtroopers. The stormtrooper guys are a bit wacky. They can take like 2 full magazines to the chest and still come at you. They carry around machine guns and don't even bother taking cover. They are the cover. They're not fun to fight, and I wish the devs thought of something else, but I get that they needed to up the ante for the player as the game went on. It starts getting into Wolfenstein territory a little bit, but the game doesn't go full wacky mode, thankfully. It's pretty grounded, even up to the last level. Unfortunately, there's no vehicles here. The levels are small, so they're not missed, but it would have been nice if the game went full Battlefield or Battlefront. There were plans for a drivable Jeep early in development, but it was canned as development progressed. I think that was certainly the right call, because what's here works well. You can tell it's a tight, well-crafted experience with lots of thought put into it. There were also plans for more levels, including forced stealth levels, which, screw that, and screw whoever wanted that in the game. God, I can't stand forced stealth in games. It's not fun, it's never been fun, stop trying to make that dog shit a thing. I hate them so much. I hate them in games. They're never good. Name one time they're good.
Are you two my only reinforcements?
On a happier note, there's only 6 levels, but I dig the variety. Husky, the first level, is this gorgeous old Italian village. Unfortunately, I think it really peaks here. The rest of the levels are good, but they never hit the highs like the first one. Next level, you're destroying radio towers in the countryside, with lots of trenches and bunkers. Then you head into a destroyed city that's been bombed to hell. I especially love the interiors here. There's so much debris and furniture everywhere you look. There's no destructible environments, which is a shame, but totally understandable. This third level is also the second time you face an enemy tank. The first time you face off, you're given a rocket launcher. They don't tell you, but you're supposed to use the grenades to take it out. Maybe they did tell me and I just missed it. I'm not sure, I don't remember. This is a small frustration and nothing compared to this goddamn bridge at the end of the level. You're meant to secure a bridge by destroying an enemy tank. Sounds easy enough, until you find out that the bridge is packed with rocket launcher enemies. To add insult to injury, the checkpoint is right before the bridge, and if you don't have much ammo, like I did, you're screwed. Enemy weapons would often glitch out, leaving me nothing to pick up. I must have died here like 15 or so times. It did feel pretty good once I got it though. Helping you is the ability to lean while aiming down sights. Not only can you lean side to side, but also up and down, which I wish more games included. Holding right mouse button and ducking down at the last second while bullets whiz by your head is awesome. It felt so good. It felt almost like VR. I love this feature and it's really sad I haven't seen it in any other game. I love it almost as much as I love shooting the helmets off my allies.
Hey, same time!
Next level is an industrial train station, full of snipers. I hate it. It's terrible. Worst level in the game. Sixth and final level tasks you with assaulting and blowing up a flak tower. These were massive concrete towers meant to defend key German cities from Allied air attacks. There were 8 built in total with 3 different designs. The scale actually isn't too far off from the real thing. It's really neat to see, and I can't remember it being included in any other World War II game. Maybe because it seems too ridiculous to be taken seriously? Which, you know what? Fair. All in all, I had a great time with Airborne. If the game was any longer, I think I'd be more down on it, but it's short and sweet. If you're looking for any kind of story or narrative experience, then yeah, look elsewhere. There's basically no characters here and no story. It's a fun shooting gallery game with some fun ideas. That's all, and that's okay. Not the greatest game ever, but a super enjoyable World War II game that's worth your time. Consider subscribing if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. Love ya, bye.